I know Chiggs is in here recording this.
No Chig Smooth in here, right? So whatever you say,
so you know Chig gonna have everything up there.
Whatever you say, Chig's gonna be on YouTube with it, man.
I'm befuddled. What's wrong with this dude, son? So the back and forth between Joe Budden and Taxstone continues. If you guys remember, the last exchange was when Taxstone called out Joe Budden for being a master manipulator. Now this obviously caught Joe by surprise. He's been supporting Taxstone ever since he's been in jail. He's been on the podcast saying free Taxstone. So obviously somebody trying to kick your back in and saying negative stuff about you when all you've been trying to do is uplift them, it's not gonna bode well. Now Joe did eventually respond back to Taxstone, basically telling him, I'm free and you're not. Now this beef has continued when Joe Budden was asked about Taxstone when Joe Budden did Gillian Waller's podcast. Now if you guys have listened to that full podcast, you know Gillian Waller was trying to get a moment out of Joe to talk about Taxstone. I'm pretty sure they asked him the same question about Tax in 4 different ways. Eventually they got what they wanted. Joe ends up calling Taxstone a worker.
Now, when did it really start when you said, you know, you was doing the shows? I mean, when did you say, I'm jumping up in this? Did somebody give you the game about this podcast shit or whatever? Or was you just like, I'm just doing it from off of seeing what I'm seeing out going on?
Taxstone gave him the game.
You're not your fucking. Yo, don't make me get animated in here.
Dog, get animated, nigga. Taxstone ain't give you the game.
Nice,
nigga,
cool
I don't want no
podcast.
fucking nice, cool podcast.
Shout out to all the podcasters.
Who gave you the game,
and
though?
Rest in peace.
Taxstone, nigga.
Everybody did it, though.
Oh, so he said everybody. You can't.
Right. Everybody that was trying to maneuver in the space. I mean, it started with Combat Jack for me.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, Combat was a legend. Rest in peace.
Him and Pete is probably at the top of the start of where that list starts.
It did Taxstone.
Pete, Juan. Well, no, why you naming? You keep your naming workers. That's why we can't have the right conversation. You keep naming workers. And
What do you mean workers?
I'm not a worker.
No, I said Taxstone gave you some game on the podcast.
He couldn't give me the game I was looking for because he was a worker. I was talking to the people running the network.
Who was running the network?
Combat Jack.
Oh, Combat Jack. All right,
his partner.
So when did you say?
Now Taxstone has responded back to Joe Budden calling him a worker. Taxstone dug deep in his archives. He posted this screenshot from 2016 from a poll MTV2 did back in 2016, asking people, a lot of podcasts took off this year. Who you guys got as podcast of the year? The choices were Tax Season, Drink Champs, Joe Budden's previous podcast, I'll name this podcast later, and Rap Radar. Obviously, as you guys can see, Tax Season won that poll. Taxstone posted this poll saying, weird ass Jersey nigga Joseph the Boss versus the worker Tax, the platinum rapper versus the street guy, the guy who jerks his dog off versus the guy who the dog. You had millions of followers when you started your podcast. Your shit is trash. That's why you done had 11th co-host. Now Taxstone continues. He says, yo, Gillian Wallow came in and blew straight past Joe. He's a statue. You never grow or move, just gain rust. Stop trying to shoot all the time if you're afraid of guns, chump. Dope fiend manipulator who loves the company of weak-minded men and women. You only Bobby Fischer around novice-ass chess players, beloved. Coward, how could a nigga be gone so long and y'all still hanging from nuts all day? True cowards. I don't even talk about y'all weak niggas. Y'all ain't go one podcast here without dick eating. Soon as Joe jealous, fake smart, bozo ass sees somebody grow, he's salty. I be staying out his lame nigga way. Don't say my name, period. Somebody asks you about me, say no comment. Wallow had 1 follower in 2017. I was in jail. I gave Waller the whole game from jail in 2017. He drove that car to the top of the hill. Now the dope fiend angry. You always angry at anything that grows. Sheesh. Those were some strong words from Tax. Listen, I think we can all agree that anytime, especially in hip-hop, if you call somebody a worker, that's basically you calling them a low nigga. Don't ask me why hip-hop is like that. Everybody wants to be a boss. Everybody thinks of themselves as a boss. I knew Taxstone was definitely going to respond back to Joe after hearing Joe call him a worker. And we can all thank Dame Dash for that. Listen, man, you gotta applaud Tax's level of dedication to hating Joe, not only by pulling out an old tweet from 2016, but also taking time out to respond while you're locked up. Now, I know some of you guys may complain in the comments, yo, Chigs, why can't everybody just get along in this space? At the end of the day, this is still hip-hop. It's gonna be competitive. Everybody wants to be number one. Everybody wants to be talked about. And when you mix all that together, this is what you get. So what you guys think about this, man? Taxstone went off on Joe Budden and his podcast. Post comments below. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video. I'll see you guys later.